Hello students, welcome to the first video session of chapter 1, that is physical world. Let us interact with the world of physics. Now the first topic that we have to study in the physical world is science. Okay, what is science? In short, it is written over here that science means organized knowledge. Okay, when the knowledge is represented in an organized way, that is called as science. Okay, in explanatory mode we can write it as it is human nature to observe things and happenings around us in the nature, then to relate them. This knowledge is organized so that it becomes well connected and logical, then it is known as science. It is a systematic attempt to understand natural phenomena and use this knowledge to predict, modify and control phenomena, right? So any knowledge when represented in an organized way, giving the logic behind the knowledge, whatever observations we have from the nature, okay, representing that observation in a very systematic way, supporting with a logic, either it can be theoretical logic or mathematical logic or both. This complete study is called as science. That is written in words over here. Okay. Next, whenever we study science, there always requires a scientific method. So let us understand what is scientific method. Scientific methods are used to observe things and natural phenomena. It includes several steps. So what is a scientific method? Scientific methods are used to observe the things, whatever things are happening around us, whatever natural phenomena are happening around us, observing those phenomena, okay, and in the observation, or we can say after the observation, what are the steps involved. Let us see that. The first step is observation. Second, controlled experiment. It means first of all we observe the things which are happening around us. Okay, just like apple is falling from the tree, that is the observation. Our observation. Controlled experiment. Okay, performing the experiment regarding that particular phenomena. Next, qualitative and quantitative reasoning, giving the logic, either it can be qualitative or it can be quantitative. Okay, next, mathematical modeling. It means to that particular phenomena, if we give the mathematical support, so that is called as mathematical modeling, like derivation, okay, mathematical calculation. So these things are called as mathematical modeling. Prediction, it means further in future what are the uses, or we can say other natural phenomena, whatever happening around us, how can we satisfy, okay, that natural phenomena, that comes under prediction. And then verification or falsification of theories. It means in the scientific method, how the theory is being verified or what are the drawbacks. So that comes under the verification and falsification of theories, right? So these are the several steps which are involved in the scientific method. First is observation, second controlled experiments, third qualitative and quantitative reasoning, fourth mathematical modeling, fifth prediction, and sixth verification or falsification of theories, right? Next, there is no final theory in science and no unquestioned authority in science. Okay, no theory in science is a final theory, because always there is a space for improvement. Okay, according to the questions which arise in a particular theory, the modification is done. So there is no final theory, right? No unquestioned authority in science. Always a question is not a question, it is always answered in science. So therefore it is written as no unquestioned authority in science, right? Observations and experiments need theories to support them. whenever we perform any experiment in the lab, in lab manual, whenever we write the experiment, there is a heading in which we write theory of the experiment. So always whatever observations and experiments are there regarding that theory is needed to support them, right? Sometimes the existing theory is unable to explain the new observations, right? Suppose we are observing any new things, any new phenomena we are going to explain or observe. So old theory sometimes is not able to explain. I will give an example of this one also. You'll better understand in that example. But first of all, understand this statement, what the statement is saying. Sometimes the existing theory is unable to explain the new observations. Hence, either new theories are formed or modification is done in the existing theory. Okay. So, to explain the new observations or new questions which arise for the old theory, to answer those questions or to clarify the observations, okay, or to explain the observations, either new theory is formed or modification is done in the old theory which is already or which has already been given by the scientist, okay, in the previous explanation, right? Let us come to the example of this particular statement. To explain different phenomena in light, theories are changed. We know that the light has two natures, okay, one is particle nature, another is what? Wave nature, okay. So to explain phenomena in light, theories are changed. Sometime a particle theory, sometime the particle theory is involved to explain a particular phenomena, sometime the wave theory is involved, okay. To explain bending of light, a new wave theory was formed, okay. How the light bends around the corner, this can be explained on the basis of wave theory, not on the basis of particle theory, okay. And then to explain photoelectric effect, help of quantum mechanics was taken, okay. In class 12th, there is a chapter dual nature of matter and radiation. You will study the phenomena of photoelectric effect, okay. In short, I can tell you that photoelectric effect is a phenomena in which when a particular frequency of light falls over a metallic surface, then it ejects electron from the metallic surface and current flows through the circuit. Since that current flows due to the light, so that's why that current is called as photocurrent. This photo word is for light, right? So that is called as photoelectric effect. When photoelectric effect was found, or when the photoelectric effect experiment was performed, then particle nature was of light was unable to explain this particular phenomena, photoelectric effect. Therefore, it was explained on the basis of quantum mechanics, which was done by the scientist named Albert Einstein. You are knowing, I think this is a very popular name, so you must be knowing about Albert Einstein. So he explained the photoelectric effect on the basis of quantum mechanics, or we can say the quantum theory of light. That is also called as particle nature of light, right? This was done by the Albert Einstein in 1905. So here we can understand the previous statement. In this example, we can understand the previous statements, meaning that the wave theory was unable to explain the photoelectric effect. It was a new observation, photoelectric effect, but could not be explained on the basis of wave theory. So a modification was done and it was explained on the basis of quantum mechanics, okay, taking help of the theory given by the Max Planck. I would say over here that the Max Planck is also known as the father of quantum mechanics, okay. So Planck's theory was taken as the help to explain the phenomena of photoelectric effect. So you can see over here the modification was done in the old theory to explain the new observation, that is called as photoelectric effect, right? Next, Let us come to the physics. Though we are studying physics and the chapter's name is Physical World, but specifically we are going to study the definition of physics. What is physics? Okay, so here it is written, physics comes from a Greek word meaning nature. This physics word has taken from a Greek word. Okay, that meaning of the word, that word is what? Nature. Okay, so what is physics? Study of basic laws of nature and their manifestation, or we can say the application in different phenomena. Okay, so physics is what? The study of basic laws of nature, or we can say study of natural phenomena and their application in various places or various observation, that is called as physics. Okay, so hopefully you have understood what is the definition of physics. Okay, again I am repeating, study of basic laws of nature and their manifestation in different phenomena. Right, now when we have gone through the definition of physics, so we must know what are the approaches we develop in the physics and in which domains the physics work. Domains means what? In which special regions the physics works. Okay, so let us come to that particular point. Okay, read this heading very carefully. This is written as principal thrust in physics. This principal thrust is also called as the approaches in physics. So in physics there are two approaches. First is unification and second is reductionism. Okay, these two approaches are also called as principal thrust in physics. But if you consider them as approaches, then you will better understand. It means to study physics, what approaches we develop. Okay, those are here. The first one is unification. Let us understand the unification. Unification is what? Efforts are made to explain different phenomena in nature on the basis of one or minimum laws. This principle this is called as the principle of unification. Okay, unify means what? Collecting so many things and giving in a single, or we can say in a unified way. Okay, so that particular method is called as unification, and this particular statement, efforts are made to explain different phenomena in nature on the basis of one or minimum laws. This is principle of unification. Okay, it means suppose we are observing so many phenomena which are happening around us, and that different phenomena which we are observing in the nature, and we are explaining those phenomena in few concept or laws, or we can say in the single law or concept, that is called as unification. We have unified different phenomena in the form of single law or concept. That particular approach is called as unification. That is written over here, and this is the example. Okay, you can see in the example, phenomena of apple falling to the ground, one phenomena. Moon's revolution, second phenomena. And weightlessness in the rocket or satellite, or we can say the spacecraft. These different phenomena we collect, okay, and explain in terms of single law, that is called as Newton's law of gravitation. This particular method or this particular approach is called as unification. Right, so in this video session we have studied about the science, the definition of physics, and one of the approach in physics that is called as unification. You must revise these things, find out new example of unification, work it out. In next video session we will proceed with the second approach, that is called as reductionism. Right, till that time, keep on studying, keep on revising, keep on elaborating. Thanks a lot.